Episode 1. The episode begins with Hajime Nagumo being thrown into the abyss of the Great Orcus Labyrinth, filled with monsters stronger than he's ever seen. He wonders if he is alive or has already died. Then he says that it is too dark and comes to the realization that he is still alive and has fallen deep in Great Orcus Labyrinth, but he can't be that deep that no one came looking for him. He says that he must make his way up and find some stairs that lead upward. He starts to roam around and comment that this level is huge, unlike other levels. At the bottom, he quickly finds monsters stronger than he's ever seen. He sees a bunny sitting out far and thinks, what is it doing there? He thought that the monster there will be much tougher and strong. As he is wondering, two wolf monsters attack the bunny. And to Hajime's surprise, the bunny makes a quick deal of the wolf and easily kill them. Hajime realizes that the bunny monster is not something he can easily take on. The bunny turns to look at him and quickly come close to him and attacks him. Hajime is backed against a wall. When he suddenly looks up, he sees a bear-like monstrosity. The bunny spots it and starts to hop away, but the bear monstrosity shoots energy construct claws that slash the bunny into pieces. It is then eaten by the bear monstrosity. Hajime is scared and tries to run away, but the bear similarly attacks him, tears off his left arm, and eats it right in front of him. Hajime escapes by transmuting his way deep into the ground. By a stroke of luck, fortunately, finds a divinity stone that creates a constant, nigh unlimited pool of ambrosia that constantly refill, allowing him to staunch the bleeding of his now missing arm and to survive the removal of his arm. In a few flashbacks, it is revealed that Hajime has no warrior skills, his only real skill being transmuting, allowing him to manipulate matter. When his class entered the dungeon, they were confronted by a behemoth, and he was deliberately pushed into the abyss by one of his classmates after trying to save Kaori from a behemoth. Hajime is stuck in the abyss and starts to break due to intense hunger. He eventually loses reason and begins to hunt the extremely strong wolves by using traps. Upon eating one, the cells of the monster change his DNA, and only the constant healing from the ambrosia saves him. His body transforms, becoming much stronger due to the constant tearing apart of his muscles from the symbiosis of his and the monster's DNA, and the healing of the ambrosia. After his transformation, he hunts further monsters, eating them to raise his levels and gain their physical and magical abilities. He even uses his transmutation skill to create powerful weaponry through trial and error, crafting his first pistol, Donner. Finally, he uses it to hunt rabbit and bear predators. He hunts and eats the bear monstrosity that ate his arm before looking for a way deeper into the abyss. Episode 2. Not knowing that he is on the first floor of the bottom of the abyss, Hajime contemplates that since he can't find the way up, he has to continue going down the labyrinth, and wonders on which floor he is currently at. He had already accumulated all the necessary resources for the upcoming journey thanks to his increased stats and skills by consuming monster meat. He continues fighting a variety of monsters on various floors until he reaches the 50th floor. Meanwhile, in Hylig Kingdom, Meld logins along with Shizuku, Kuki, and Ryutaru come to the audience of the king, Ilihade SB Hylig, and the Pope, Ishtar Langbar, and inform them about the unknown trap found on the 20th floor of the Great Orcus Labyrinth, which connected to the 65th floor of the labyrinth, and the fact that the confrontation against the behemoth and the Traum soldiers was regretfully vain, and that it ended up costing them the life of a god's chosen hero. The Pope and the king are worried that word regarding the death of a chosen hero is spreading around the kingdom, so they order to not speak about more than needed, maintain silence, and ask the other chosen heroes to agree with it. Shizuku, while worried about her friend Kaori, who hasn't woken up since Hajime fell from the bridge, recounts the event of how Meld had to knock Kaori unconscious in order to stop her from doing something drastic after Hajime's fall. She then goes out of Kaori's room to the castle courtyard in order to clear her mind while practicing her sword form. During this time, she recalls the day when they got summoned to Tortoise and meet Ishtar, who informed them about how there has been an ongoing bloody war between humankind and the demonkind for centuries. While the power scale between the two sides had remained on par for quite a while, during recent years, the demonkind have learned the ability to control monsters, which tipped the scale in their favor. Because of this, humanity is on the brink of destruction. Seeing the plight of humankind, the god of creation worshipped by the people of Tortoise, had summoned heroes with incredible power to fight for the kingdom and save humanity. Hearing this, Kuki jumped in and decided to fight for the sake of the humans of Tortoise, and asks everyone to help him. But hearing that, the teacher of the students, Eiko Hadayama, objects, and Ryutaru confirms his support for Kuki's decision, which also prompts Shizuku and Kaori to agree with it. This doesn't make Eiko happy, and she starts throwing a tantrum in order to stop her students. She notices her classmate, Hiyama, acting strangely but does not hear him, reassuring himself that no one saw him attacking Hajime. Kaori wakes up after 5 days and is determined not to give up on finding Hajime. When Hajime reaches a door he can't transmute, he fights 2 cyclopes and get 2 mana stones from their corpses and open the door. Inside he finds a girl imprisoned in a crystal. She is a vampire who was betrayed by her uncle, as she can heal from any type of injury or damage. Also, she can directly manipulate mana and could even use spells without a magic circle. This surprised Hajime, as her powers were rule-breaking, making her practically immortal, so she was trapped there. He releases her. Deciding to abandon her old name, she asks Hajime for a new one, so he names her Yu for the moon, as her golden hair reminds him of moonlight. Episode 3, we see Yu worried about Hajime, and he is hurt with spikes impaled on his back. He pours holy water onto them and Yu pulls the spikes out. It is shown how he got impaled by the spikes. During his conversation with Yu, Hajime and Yu are attacked by a giant scorpion monster that appears on the ceiling above them. Hajime is impaled by poison spikes launched by the scorpion, but is able to neutralize the toxin utilizing one of his potions before it took effect. Hajime realizes that the monster is there to prevent Yu from escaping. He gives her some clothes to wear, and before it could attack again he picks Yu on his back and turns to face the scorpion monster. His attacks have no effect on the monster and he retreats with Yu out of the chamber to get some distance. Hajime tries to shoot at it with Donner, but it proves to be ineffective because of its hardened body. Yu gets off of Hajime's back and feeds on his blood. Recovering her magic, she turns to face the scorpion and uses a high-level magic Azure Blaze, which summons a giant blue-colored fireball to attack the scorpion. But she gets tired and falls back. Hajime catches her and asks if she can do one more attack like that, and she says she can. He asks her to hit the scorpion where he shot it with Donner once he signals her. He runs to take the scorpion's attention, and then when the scorpion turns and attacks him he dodges it and signals Yu to attack it. She summons another blue fireball to attack the scorpion, and meanwhile, Hajime jumps and lands on top of the scorpion. The fireball has burned and created an opening in the scorpion's shell, and Hajime uses Donner and shoots the scorpion through the opening, and they kill the scorpion by working together. While eating the flesh, Hajime tells Yu all vampires were exterminated 300 years ago, making her the last vampire. Yu explains the labyrinths were built by mavericks, powerful magic users who attempted and failed to defeat God, so they each constructed a labyrinth as a sanctuary against God's revenge and may still be alive on the deepest floors. Hajime transmutes the scorpion's shell to create a rifle named Schlagen. Hajime tells Yu how he was betrayed but no longer cares about his classmates, or even revenge. He just wants enough power to return to Japan, and as Yu no longer has a home he asks her to go with him. Hajime's classmates decide to enter the labyrinth again. Hajime and Yu enter a floor where all monsters are infected and psychically controlled by a plant-like monster. Yu is infected, however. One of the monsters Hajime previously ate makes him immune to the infection, allowing him to kill the monster. Later, Yu strips naked to drink Hajime's blood and seduces him. Several days later they reach the bottom floor and prepare to face the final boss monster. Episode 4, Hajime and Yu finally arrive at the end of the labyrinth and discover a large room with an equally large door on the other side. As they begin to approach the door in question, a large magic seal activates and summons the final boss of the labyrinth, a massive 6-headed hydra. Hajime and Yu confront the final boss, a giant hydra-like monster with 6 heads, each capable of a different type of magic and one of which can heal the others. Yu is distracted by the fear-inducing hypnosis of a second head and almost eaten, so Hajime snaps her out of it with a kiss. Hajime succeeds in using Schlagen to destroy 3 heads, including the healing head, and Yu destroys the remaining 3 with lightning. Before they can relax, a surprise 7th head emerges. Hajime is injured protecting Yu and Schlagen is destroyed. Seeing Hajime unconscious, Yu drags him to safety and tries to attack with his pistol but is injured. Even unconscious, Hajime hears Yu crying and somehow increases his speed such that he can dodge all attacks. He explodes grenades all around the room, dropping the roof on the head and allowing Yu to kill it for good with lightning. As the final door opens, Hajime passes out from exhaustion. Meanwhile, Eiko Hatayama, Hajime's teacher also summoned as a hero, argues with the Pope, who is insisting they re-enter the labyrinth. The Pope agrees to only send students who volunteer as long as Eiko continues using her fertility magic to support the kingdom's struggling agriculture. And that's all for today, guys. Stay tuned to get more new videos. Stay safe and keep watching.